Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, have you heard? There is breaking news out in these true crime streets. Now listen, this is a case that I know a lot of people are not following, but I'm about to put you up on game. Look, first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That helps other people find us. Also, find me over there on the socials. I'm on Blue Sky, Instagram, and what's the other one? I don't know. Oh, Facebook. Yeah. Look, last night in California, Yolanda Marodi was captured. Yo, the way I was clutching my pearls and the way I was thinking to myself, the true crime friends, most of them probably never even heard of this lady, but I have been following this case since early February. Look, let me tell you every single thing because it's a skosh crazy, just a little bit crazy. Okay, so look, picture it. San Diego, like a whole bunch of years ago. Yolanda Marodi was down there minding her business, mostly. She was kind of a menace to society, but like a light menace, you know what I mean? She was married, she had 2 kids, she had this husband named Joe, right? And after a little while, Joe was like, girl, your act right is not fully installed, so let's just go ahead and get a divorce. And she was like, I don't know how I feel about divorce, but okay, let's go ahead and get a divorce. So they get divorced, but they still just like back and forth at each other, always some mess. You know these couples. I know these couples. Anyway, so ultimately they got mutual restraining orders from each other. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a really, really good solution. Everybody has to stay 1,000 feet from the other person. And then that's going to be fine. Everybody is going to be safe and everything's going to be terrific. Here's the thing though. They had shared custody of the kids. And Yolanda was not doing real good with the whole shared custody thing. And so she's like, what could I do to help with my shared custody situation with this man I can't stand? Oh, I'm going to take him off this mortal coil. So she's like, and unfortunately unalived him. She perforated him over and over and over again. Y'all know we can't say certain words here on the YouTube. So I'm going to have to just, act it out, and then you're gonna have to figure it out from there. So Joe, the ex-husband, I'm not even sure if they were fully divorced yet. Anyway, they were estranged from one another, and he was found no longer on this mortal coil. And she was like, oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm just going to take my kids and flee justice. And so immediately the police were like, this looked like something that ex-wife would have did because, she was a slight menace to society. Clearly, she has upped her menace status to like full-on homicidal, and that's not so good. Hang on for a second. So Yolanda's on the run with these 2 kids, and she's like, oh, Lord, these kids are wearing me out. You know what I need? I'm going to need a break. Looks like I'm going to have to turn myself into the police. So she turned herself into the police. I was like, hey, police, how you doing? Listen, can I explain to you what happened? See, what happened was I lightly unalived him, but he's still dead. So I'm going to go ahead and take a plea to voluntary manslaughter because oops, right? That's part of the law, right? We have like the oops defense, and the judge and everybody was like, girl, Miss Yolanda, girl, that's not a thing. You just can't be out here, unfortunately, unaliving people. And she was like, right. Okay. I hear what you're saying. I see where I may have gone wrong in helping him slip the surly bonds of this earth. And so I'm gonna go over here to prison. Thank you so much. I'm gonna meet some nice ladies and eat some of that bologna casserole they be serving and stuff. And so she went to prison for like 13 years and she served her time. And I was like, oh, this story has a happy ending. Wait, why is she a fugitive from justice then? Wait. So Yolanda gets out of prison. She's like, I am fully reformed. I am a new woman. Ooh, who is this over here? I am madly in love with Fire Captain Rebecca. I forget Rebecca's maiden name, but in short order, Yolanda and Rebecca fell in love, and Rebecca changed her name to Rebecca Marodi. Now listen, this is what you need to understand. Rebecca was a fire captain. She was beloved in the community. She did all the charity work. She was good with animals. I'm sure she was a good cook. I mean, I just made that part up, but it seems like it. She's a fire person. Don't they spend a lot of time cooking and like saving lives and stuff? Anyway, so Rebecca and Yolanda get married in 2022, and everybody's like, oh, what a beautiful love story. I guess she wasn't just gay for the stay when she was over there down to the prison. She found herself a nice life, and they're going to live happily ever after. Oh, they moved into a beautiful house, and Rebecca's mama stayed with them a lot of the time. It was really, really lovely. And I'm thinking to myself, listen, Rebecca, girl, I know you believe you want to see the best in everybody. She kind of undateable though. You know what I mean? Like, you can do a little time. Now that's not for me, but like if you do a little time, okay, cool. But she unfortunately unallowed a partner when she got mad. This seemed like it's not gonna go good. But look, Rebecca clearly had more faith in humanity than did I, because I wouldn't have touched that heifer with a 10-foot pole. But okay, that's just me. Please hold, my throat is already dry. So they living together happily ever after. And then 2 years goes by and Rebecca is found no longer on this mortal coil. As a shock to, well, Rebecca's friend, but not a shock to me. I was like, yeah, that seemed like something Yolanda would do. And so what had happened was Rebecca's mama, who stayed there at the house a lot of time, came home and was like, oh, what? My daughter is here, dead like a carp on the floor. Somebody done stabbed her up. And I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. So Rebecca had told her mama, listen, Yolanda, that unfortunate unaliver that I married, it's not working out good. I mean, I know I love her and stuff, and we got married, but I think we're gonna have to break up. And in my imagination, Rebecca's mama's like, girl, you in danger. You know what happened when people break up with her. She gets real handy with a knife, right? And so when Rebecca is found no longer on this mortal coil, her mama's like, y'all need to find Yolanda, because, you know, this is what Yolanda be doing. This is apparently her pattern. And so they were like, wait, we have some of them Ring camera footage. So let's just look at the Ring camera and see if we can figure out what happens. Here's the thing. The Ring cams only looked out the front door and the back door. So they're like, how are we ever going to figure out what happened inside the house? Oh, wait a minute. We'll look anyway and see if we can see anything, right? At least we can see who's coming and who's going. Well, on the back door of the Ring doorbell, you see Rebecca run outside with blood on her and Yolanda saying, get back in the house. Child, I was scared when I saw the video and I knew how everything had went down. And Rebecca was saying, but Yolanda, I don't want to die. What? And so Yolanda was like, well, you should have thought of that before you broke up with me. And Rebecca is like, can you please just call 911 and calm this thing down? Rebecca, ma'am, you are a fire captain. And I understand that in like the heat of crazy, you know, you might lose your skills or whatever, especially when it's you personally, you're not working on somebody else. But I was like, oh, this whole story is crazy. And so Yolanda at knife point instructs Rebecca to go back in the house. What you mean you should have thought of that before? Ma'am, this is not how we solve problems. Didn't they teach you to have conversations and stuff in prison? Apparently not. And Rebecca was just, her last words on video were, please, Rebecca, I don't want to die. Oh, okay. So they go back in the house, and then 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, very shortly afterwards, you see Yolanda packing up, leaving. She's changed clothes. Now, this is the second part that they saw was from the Ring doorbell from the front door. You see Yolanda in different clothes with some suitcases. How she packed that fast? Was she planning on, unfortunately, unaliving this woman and fleeing? And she got the dogs. Oh, the first time she fled, she took her kids. Now this time she just taking the dogs. Okay, heifer. Anyway, so they see her, you know, driving as fast as her little tires would carry her over the border. Keep in mind, they lived in San Diego and Mexico is right there. So she was just like, oh, she's a Hispanic lady. And she's just like, I will flee to Mexico. Now, in my mind, in my very, very fertile imagination, I was like, right, but there's a lot of land, and she could have fled all the way to like Venezuela or something. She could have just kept driving and driving. She could have gone to Belize. The beach is beautiful. I'm just saying, if this was me, not that I'm in the business of unfortunately unaliving others, because clearly I am not. She should have driven a little further. So she leaves and the police are like, oh, okay. And then once the story got out in the local area on the news and stuff, friends started coming forward like, hey, police, hey, listen, Becky sent me, Yolanda sent me a little text message, and I feel like maybe I should tell you what it said. And the police were like, yes, heifer, give it to us right now. Why are you standing here talking? Just tell us the message. And she was like, the message from Yolanda says, Becky came home and says she's leaving me. She met someone else, and I'm real sad about it. Then she also said, we had a big fight, and I hurt her. I'm sorry. Ma'am, let me help you here. You did more with her than hurt her. You took her off the whole playing field. She now off at the Endless Heaven buffet. And now you just sit here like, oops, I'm sorry, but I got the dogs and I fled to Mexico. Ma'am, you had promised never to murder again. You didn't keep your promise. And I was just like, right. So Rebecca has been missing Yolanda has been missing for weeks. Now, when I first heard this story, Yolanda was on the run, and I was like, well, I hope they get this heifer. Now, in my mind, I was like, she probably was at the southern tip of South America. I was like, if this was me, I would have driven until I couldn't drive no more. Turns out, this heifer was lazy. She didn't go that far. She went to Mexico and was like, oh, I'm real safe. I'm real glad. Okay, let me get me some of these tacos. She spoke the language. She got herself a hotel. Oh, she was just living her best life with these two little dogs. Well, turns out the news and stuff reaches right across the border. She didn't even go that far. Girl, you lazy. I can't with this heifer. That's probably why her wife was mad. Her wife was like, you just gonna lay down on the couch while I'm working, doing the dishes, taking care of the dogs, doing everything. Okay. So they called her outside of a hotel in Mexicali. Let me tell you something. On border towns, whether it's the United States or Mexico or someplace else, when the two places are real close to each other, it's not uncommon to name a town like part of one name and part of another. So like Texarkana, that's where Texas and whatever has Arcana in it. They're real close together. They picked up this heifer in Mexicali, which means right on the border. She put her baby toe over the border and was like, okay, I'm safe. I don't have to do no more. Girl. And you had a car with gas? You could have gone, okay. So, they arrested her in Mexicali, and I was like, she need to go to jail. Not only is she a fortunate unaliver, but she's lazy. She's clearly not good at crime. She did exactly the same crime over again. She couldn't even think outside the box, or maybe just leave and not murder nobody. Okay, I'm crazy like that. Anyway, so the Mexican police arrested her and took a mugshot of her. Look. In Mexico, when you get a mugshot, look, in the United States, it's a real close-up of your face, and you holding a number or whatever it says, and you just stand there, try to look cute in your mugshot. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but that I would be like. Anyway, so you supposed to stand there with the number, real tight shot. In Mexico, they just put you in front of a step and repeat. You know what a step and repeat is? One of those big canvas backdrops where you can stand there and be like, or whatever. Y'all, the pictures of this woman getting arrested was her standing in front of a step and repeat, just looking straight ahead, and then her with police officers on either side of her. I was like, they just taking pictures like they at the Academy Awards or a birthday party or something. Okay, Mexico, I see you. And so, hang on. She was so close to the California border that instead of like flying her or even putting her in a car, they just walked her back across. I was dying when I saw this news coverage. You see the Mexican police and the California police walk up to the border of the United States and Mexico, and they just open a fence and walk her right across. She's bad at crime. I mean, she's obviously a really, really terrible person. But girl, anyway, so they walk her through the fence. They should have made her jump the fence. Have her climb this fence at knife point. That seemed like it would have been fair to me. But obviously, she's innocent unless she's proven guilty. She's super duper guilty, in my opinion. Y'all think she gonna plead? She pled the last time. She's clearly going to prison where she's gonna blend because she's an unfortunate unalive. After you got out, you got another chance to live another life. Got a whole other spouse. Somebody believed your lying ass lies and took you into their home. Y'all had a beautiful home, a beautiful life. Because this lady ain't want you no more, you go her up. It's terrible. Anyway, So they make her jump the fence. She could just walk through the gate or whatever. And the California police took her into custody. And the people down in the community of California are just like, we're so grateful that this ignorant heifer was captured. That's not what they said, but that is the spirit of what they said. And they're like, we hope that Yolanda's family gets, that Rebecca's family gets justice. Okay. To me, justice would be that they of Yolanda, but don't go by me. Also, the cherry on the top of this boo-boo sundae is that Yolanda's glow down, terrible, y'all. In all the wanted poster pictures of her, she had on eyelashes and she's makeup and she's looking all cute or whatever. When they arrested her, I was like, oh, she looked like she'd been in prison already. She must have been having a rough time over there in Mexicali. Didn't even go past Mexicali. Here's the real question for me. Where them dogs? What happened to them dogs? Is somebody taking care of the dogs? The dogs were small and cute. I want to know what, look, fan out, gossips. If y'all know what happened to them dogs, just let me know. I just want to know that they're safe and warm and they have very good homes. Are they now just like roaming the street? Are they Mexican street dogs? I need to understand. Okay, look. I may have missed the entire point of this story, but just know that Yolanda Marodi was arrested last night and I was clutching my pearls when I heard all about it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next true crime. Bye.